Right, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for that. I did lose connection from the ACC server briefly, so I had to reconnect, and unfortunately I had to restart the stream. But we are back. After some technical difficulties, we are back with Morgan McCall in first place in the GT3 class, Daniel Rowe in second place at this stage, unable to close that gap. Gideon Renner lying in third place, Mac van der Merwe in fourth place, then fifth place, sixth place, seventh place. Baker Frobler, Bernard Barkhuizen. This is a proper four-way battle turning out here. As we see them fighting their way around the track, going through that tight and twisty section. These four cars running absolutely close to each other, as we see Bernard Barkhuizen there trying to make that pass onto Bago Frobler. This is the type of action that you see in the sprint race. Absolutely close racing here between these four guys. I mean, basically at this stage, any one of these four can still pick up the fourth place position here with just over 16 minutes to go. Just want to keep on this battle for a while as we see them battling their way around the track. You can see it's basically a battle of four cars in that four-car battle, a battle of two cars each. As we see, it looks like Henry Meyer running wide there. That has allowed, Mac van der Merwe running wide there. Henry Meyer running wide, and that has allowed Mac van der Merwe to make the pass. I mean, as we see one of the M2 cars there keeping well out of the way as these GT3 cars, scream up on him. Oh, I see there, it looks like Bernard Barkhuizen getting held up there a little bit, which has allowed the Bago, Henry Meyer and Mac van der Merwe to pull away a bit. As we see Morgan McCall, our leader Morgan McCall, has gone off and he is in the pits, and this will allow Daniel Rowe to take the lead of the race. So unfortunate accident there from Morgan McCall, and he has lost the lead of the race, now having to make a pit stop. He is dropping way down the field, currently 8th place, I think soon to be 9th place. So now what was a battle for 4th place has now become a battle for 3rd place between Mac van der Merwe, Bago Frobler and Henry Meyer, with Bernard Barkhuizen trying to fight his way back and become part of this battle yet again. Just want to stay with this battle for a little while longer. This is the type of racing that you come to expect in the sprint series. No mandatory pit stops, so unfortunately Morgan McCall picking up a little bit of damage there, and that has caused him to go way down the field and lose a lot of positions due to the fact that he had to pit. Just want to have a close look at this stage. We have lost a couple of cars. At this stage, I don't actually see Morgan McCall on the track. I'm currently going through the list of names. We've got 35 cars of the 39 that started the race still left on the track, but I cannot see Morgan McCall on the survey anymore. It actually looks like Morgan McCall has disconnected. As we keep our eyes on this battle, I mean, the battle between these three, it's by no means slacking off. They are going at each other hammer and tong, as we look at Henry Meyer right on the back of Bago Frobler, trying to box him in. A little bit of contact. Unfortunately, one of the BMW spinning out, and we've got Henry Meyer and Bago Frobler, Bernard Barkhuizen, all three of them having a coming together. Biggest loser at this stage, Henry Meyer, as Bernard Barkhuizen makes up a place. Unfortunately, Henry Meyer was boxed in with that BMW. Gaps closed on them, and we saw a little bit of a contact there. Now Daniel Rowe out in front. He's starting to make his way yet again through the M2 traffic. But the M2s, as I said before, still in their own race. You know, they've also have their race that they are involved in. And at this stage, you know, Christopher Radloff, the leader of the M2 class, and we've got Daniel Rowe, the leader of the GT3 class, currently running together on track. As we see, it looks like Daniel Rowe is actually keeping behind that M2 for some reason. Now making the pass down the pit straight. He sat behind that M2 actually for quite a long time before he decided to make the pass. The GT3 car definitely has got more grunt than the M2. As we now see Gideon Renner making the pass on Christopher there. So that's first and second place GT3, first place in the M2 class. You know, running together on track, leaders passing leaders. Just want to move back to this battle between Vega Grobler, Bernard Barkhuizen and Henry Meyer. Bernard Barkhuizen actually was able to get past Vega Grobler as they close on the M2s now, and as we see on the previous lap, you know, things got a bit interesting, and this time they got around those M2s fairly well. See Henry Meyer running a bit wide there, trying to follow Vega Grobler through as there is a Henry Meyer running wide again, and you know, bouncing over the curbs. That would have hurt his time a bit, possibly a little bit of damage on that car now. But these four, we now in a battle for third place. Still four cars in this battle. It can anybody in third place from Mac van der Merwe, Bernard Barkhuizen, Vega Grobler, Henry Meyer. Although Henry Meyer has fallen back a little bit, the battle between these three are still on for that third place. He is currently running in third place in class. In front of him, Christopher Radloff. As we see him slide that car out of the corner, you know, it looks like he is thoroughly enjoying this M2. But currently out in front in class is Tariq Adams, as he is getting swamped by the GT3 cars. This train of Vega Grobler and Henry Meyer and everybody coming past. Tariq just holding his line, allowing them to run their own race. He doesn't want to get involved in their battles. He's currently in the lead of his own race, out in front. As we follow still this battle for third place. Four cars involved in it. We've got Vega Grobler, Bernard Barkhuizen, Mac van der Merwe. All four of them having a battle for third place. Currently Mac van der Merwe leading the pack, but you know, I'm sure the rest of you, as you see Bernard Barkhuizen behind him, he's eager to try and line up a pass to get past that Audi and start chasing after the likes of Gideon Renner in second and Daniel Rowe in first place. As they come around for another lap, all four of them still running very close together. Third place Mac van der Merwe, fourth Bernard Barkhuizen. Right behind them you see that Aston Martin of Vega Grobler, and right behind Vega is Henry Meyer. Sometimes depends on how much time is left in the race. I sometimes like to sit at the back of a pack like this and watch the guys fight it out, because out of the four cars, the person running at the back of the pack he's got the least pressure on him. There's nobody behind, you know, Henry Meyer. He can, I won't say cruise around, but at this stage, you know, he doesn't want to have to watch those rear view mirrors, where the three cars in front of him, you know, continuously have to watch their rear view mirrors. As we see Henry Meyer, you know, dropping back a bit. Might be strategy, or tires on that Audi might be starting to go, but with just over 7 minutes left, There's not a lot of time left, so if it is a strategy game that Henry Meyer is playing, he can't wait too long when he starts making. He can't wait too long before he'll have to start making his way to the front of that little pack there. Oh, as we see Bernard Barkhuizen closing up right behind Mac van der Merwe. I think he outbraked himself there a little bit, and that has allowed Bego Grobler to close up right behind him, and Henry Meyer following suit. So this has, put even more pressure on Bernard Barkhuizen, and he will definitely be feeling it as he's got two cars behind him. But what has that? It has allowed Mac van der Merwe to open up a slight bit of a gap over the three of them, so he'll have a slight breather before he'll have to start watching those rear view mirrors from him again. As we look back from his car, you can see the guys tussling it out, duking it out. They are running very close together. They're not giving anything. But Bego Grobler running over the curve there, maybe losing a little bit of time as we go down the pit straight one more time. Bernard Barkhuizen just covering off Bego Grobler, just protecting that inside line a bit. But Henry Meyer definitely now getting a lot more involved in this battle. He has decided, 6 minutes to go. He now needs to make his move. If we follow them through the S's tight, it's a section of corners that tightens up on you. The one corner a little bit more tighter than the next. As they go through this section, now they're on their way again down to that long back straight. Once they go through this corner, there's just a sweep to go, and then they're hard on the brakes, turning in for that long back straight. Let's see what happens this time. So we see Henry Meyer closing up right onto the back of Bego Grobler, and Bego Grobler trying to get into that slipstream of Bernard Barkhuizen. Mac van der Merwe still, I wouldn't sound a bit of a holiday on the front of this pack, but he has opened up a little bit of a gap, so he's a bit more comfortable, definitely more comfortable than Bernard Barkhuizen, Bego Grobler and Henry Meyer. They are properly having a battle here. As we look from the rear wing of Bernard Barkhuizen, as you see Bego, a little bit of a contact. That has caused the rear end of that McLaren to step out, and Bego getting alongside him for a brief moment, but Bernard Barkhuizen has composed that McLaren and he's kept in front of Bego Grobler. Bego basically just tell him, listen, I'm here, I would like to make my way past, but Bernard Barkhuizen saying, unfortunately you're not getting past at this section, my friend. Right, let's see what the next lap will bring. And yet again, Bernard Barkhuizen in front, Bego Grobler behind him, Henry Meyer. This is turning out to be a great little battle for fourth place. As we see in the distance, they're closing up on an M2, and they're going to catch that M2 at a fairly difficult section of track, as we see Mac van der Merwe getting past the M2 there, but Barkhuizen, Grobler and Meyer yet to pass it as Barkhuizen closes up right onto the back of that M2 and literally just blast past. Well done for the driving there of the GT3s and the M2. That's a difficult section of track to make a pass on a car that's got such a big pace difference to yourself. Just moving out in front, we've got Daniel Rowe. At this stage, Daniel is quite comfortably cruising there in the front. Second place, we've got Gideon Renner, comfortably in second place. I think he's starting to think of the end of the race. Third place, Mac van der Merwe. A little bit of a gap down to Bernard Barkhuizen and the likes of Bego Grobler, but by no means he's in a position to get comfortable as we move back to this battle between Grobler, Barkhuizen and Meyer behind. Meyer closes right up there, telling Bego Grobler, but yet again, running a bit wide, so he's losing time through the next section again. And he'll have to redo a bit of that hard work of his. Running wide again. I wonder if the tires on that Audi hasn't gone, maybe possibly push them a little bit too wide, as we see him again running wide out of the second last corner. So he is definitely starting to struggle maybe, and possibly struggling to keep up to the likes of Vega, Frobler and Bernard Barkhuizen. As we move back to Vega, Frobler, right on the back of that McLaren, and we see there Mac van der Merwe in third place, a little bit up the road. They are starting to close back up on Mac van der Merwe, and with a little under 2 minutes to go, this is basically the dying stages of the race. There's not a lot of time left. It's now a case of do or die. Maybe one lap left after this. I don't know, maybe this might be the last lap. I doubt that. I think they'll still do one lap after this. The clock won't run to zero before they reach the start finish line. Let's quickly have a look where Daniel Rowe is on track. He's nearing the end of that long straight, so I think he'll definitely make it over the start finish line and make it one more lap to go. Moving back to Vega, Frobler, Henry Meyer, Bernard Barkhuizen. They are having absolutely a classic battle here, and now you can say it's back to a 4-car battle, because they have closed up right to the back of Mac van der Merwe. You see the four of them battling around, and Vega, Frobler now definitely feeling a bit more heat from Henry Meyer. As we look back from the rear wing, we can see that Audi closing right up to the back of Vega, Frobler. He wants to get past. He knows there's just one lap left. He needs to do the pass now, otherwise he will have to be content with the 6th place. Having a look from the helicam, these two are absolutely duking it out. As we see Henry Meyer getting a bit out of, and Vega Frobler pitted. Vega is in the pits. Wonder if he ran out of fuel. That will hurt him as we go on board with Daniel Rowe. Time has run out. So Daniel Rowe on his last lap. How unfortunate is it that Vega Frobler had to pit, and that has dropped him at this stage right back up to 7th place. I think he might lose even more places, as a result of this pit stop. Just having a quick look where the M2s are on track. Likes of Christopher Radloff, Tariq Adams in first place. They are also on their last lap. Let's quickly have a look, see where Daniel Rowe is. Daniel Rowe is going down that long back straight. He's going to make his way through the last couple of corners as he heads down on that straight now. This is the last lap. We've got Daniel Rowe in first place, Gideon Renner in second place, Mac van der Merwe in third place, followed very closely by Bernard Barkhuizen. Vega Frobler is gone from this battle, so Henry Meyer now into 5th place. Right, we have Daniel Rowe, last couple of corners to go. Not long now, time has run out, so he just needs to keep it on the track and just negotiate this M2 traffic for what, as you see him run a little bit wide over those curves. Audi bouncing a little bit, now going through this triple right-hander. He's running a bit wide to keep well clear of that BMW M2. Well done there. Now basically only 2 more corners to go. This last corner now for Daniel Rowe, as Daniel Rowe will cross the line shortly and take the checkered flag. First place for Daniel Rowe. Second place not far behind, we've got Gideon Renner as he comes through the last corner. Mac van der Merwe, Bernard Barkhuizen, Henry Meyer, that's third, fourth and fifth. 6th place we go to Peter Oosthuizen crossing the line. Then 7th place Daniel de Matos Petro, now also rounding the last corner. He's going to go through and take the checkered flag. 8th place we've got Grand Sebastian. also now rounding the last corner to take the checkered flag. 9th place, we've got Nicholas Manuel. 10th place, Werner Skuman. 11th place, Bego Grobler. So Bego dropped all the way back to 11th place. Quickly having a look and moving over to the BMW M2s. Let's quickly see. We've Tariq Adams takes first place, and second place goes to Christopher Radloff there. I don't think actually Tariq has crossed the line. It pretty much looked like Tariq is still racing, so I think Tariq still needs to cross the line. Second place Christopher Radloff, and Ryan Otten's having a proper little battle here in the dying moments of this race. So Tariq Adams closing in on the finish line. These two, it's not over yet. Side by side through here as they go through this tight section. Let's quickly have a look and see where Tariq Adams is going round the triple right-hander, so we can move quickly back to this battle of Ryan Ottens and Christopher Radloff. Side by side, they are yet again just deciding we are going to go side by side through this track. We don't mind doing that. Quickly hopping back to Christopher Radloff. He's got one corner to go, and then I'm going to switch back to the other battle. So last corner for Tariq Adams as he takes the checkered flag and the win of the M2 class. Moving back to Christopher Radloff and Ryan Ottens. These two more corners to go, one more corner to go. They're going to go side by side, and on the inside, Christopher Radloff, Ryan Ottens. Christopher Radloff in front, Ryan Ottens tucking up behind him. So it is Christopher Radloff second, Ryan Ottens third. Then we've got Cody Sherritt. He's going to take fourth position in this class as he rounds the last corner and takes the checkered flag. And then we've got Michael Haroon fifth place. Ladies and gentlemen, what a close to that race. I mean, we've seen yet again awesome racing as we see Cody Sherritt doing a donut there. Seems like he is pretty happy with that race result. I'm out of breath. But I want to thank everybody for joining us. I hope you have an awesome evening. We will see you again tomorrow night for the main event, the GT3 series, the Grid Championship. I will be back. Stephen Koenig hopefully will be back tomorrow evening. I say good night to everyone.